to understand the video that the YouTuber, the angry guy, talking about these boomers who got karma and got their fate, deserved their fate or whatever the hell. You got to be acquainted. You got to be acquainted with being a worker in a factory where you do all kind of damn work, and these assholes like supervisors, different people that did zero work and got some job that they can be on a power trip. A job, a cushy job, which they got because of nepotism and because of who they know. You got to be acquainted with those kind of people of that character, that type of boomer. You'd have to understand that to understand what he's talking about here. Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. I'm going to cover, maybe talk about this video. I couldn't resist talking about this one. The YouTuber, the angry guy, he talking about how the boomers deserve their homelessness and sealing their own fate. And I figure I need to talk about this because, not that I'm worried about any boomers getting offended per se, but some of them, depending on, you know, the mixed and distorted definition of boomer, you know what I mean? There could be a language barrier with that, you know what I mean? So my take on his attitude toward this, my personal take, you would have to understand what the late George Carlin said about the pensions that just disappear when you go to collect it. And since I wrote a long-ass comment, I could have wrote a 3, 4, 5, 90-page comment on this shit. You, like I said, like the late George Carlin said. And a lot of us know people, in fact, that later down the line, these pensions did disappear. Companies will either, they know when the company's going to fold or whatever, or change under another name. And anyway, to make a long story short, to try not to make this a long-ass video, you would have to be an actual worker in a factory yourself to understand this. And back when I worked in particular factories, I remember being a person with long hair like I do now, but not graying, and living in Western Pennsylvania, walking around into a restaurant like the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, because you're some person somebody don't like with long hair, whether it's the old people or the hipsters down the street. It was a big deal in Western Pennsylvania to get a factory job out of minimum wage and getting that overtime and that nice paycheck. Well, your friends as different walks of life, both black and white, that work next to you, the common worker. Some of them your friends, some of them in different cliques, but they're all the common worker. Some of them don't like each other, different cliques, and cackling hens sitting at this table over here. Whether you like each other or not, you're the common worker, right? Okay, and then I remember working in this company, right, which they were always trying to get you to sign that 401k shit and put your money into it. And then there's that fake-ass life insurance. Not the shit that they pay for, that they're paying into in case you get hurt on the job and have to go to the hospital or whatever the fuck. No, there was this like fake life insurance that they wanted you to pay into, and it's 401k shit. And you do your research about that 401k, you know, rather than me making a long-ass video. You're not going to be working in a particular company forever, and they know damn well that a lot of them 401ks, but they, every so often, they'd be bringing a paper around trying to push people into signing at the common worker. And these boomers that angry guy is talking about, in my take, are these ones that talk down to you or on power trips, and they're promised kickbacks and some of them were even getting little rewards for pushing people into paying into that. They think they're going to get a pension. They know it was a scam, and they're trying to. They even got little rewards for pushing people into that shit. They thought if Angry Guy's video, his attitude is correct and right, they're getting screwed, right? Because they were promised that a benefit. We're going to get it. These are people that, if you want to understand Angry Guy's video, whether you like him or not, you have to understand the type of person who was always on the power trip. And they got in there. They didn't do no real work, but yet they can talk down to people and get on people's case. And in his video, I don't think anybody really deserves homelessness, but the people he's talking about, to be fair, it would be nice for some of them to learn a lesson and be on the fringes, like to be scared into changing their ways and their attitude, how they talk down to people and literally laugh in your face and get on your case, and like, oh yeah, they can threaten you to have you fired and you can be destitute. We'll make sure you talk back to the kind of people that he's talking about. In my attitude, are the ones that you talk smart off to them or whatever, and you can be destitute and homeless, and they'll make, yeah, because they make damn sure you don't get a job anywhere else, like those kind. And they were the ones who maybe got little rewards or promised this and that, like they knew it was a scam, right? Like the late George Carlin said, the pensions did disappear when you go to collect it. And the fake-ass life insurance. Yeah, if you were fucked with, and the company always called into the principal's office per se, the people who got called into the office, or we'd say the principal's office, for petty shit, were always the ones who didn't sign the papers for that 401k or the fake life insurance. And some of the people in the office higher-ups, they were friendly ones, so they got unfriendly. Everybody knows who didn't sign that shit. So you were fucked within a job for petty shit and all kind of different bullshit. Literally, for worked at a factory job and you were actually harassed for called in the office for manufactured reasons to assert people do it, to assert their dominance or whatever. And these are the people that didn't do no real work, but they were able to get on everybody else's case, and they were promised that they were going to get this benefits and all that, and they knew it was a scam, and they were rewarded in some cases little rewards while they were working for pushing people into these scams. But then these people, to understand Angry Guy's video, you would have to understand that these people that were the dickheads, they were promised better benefits for getting the common worker to sign into all this fake-ass bullshit. And some of them, you can argue, they were putting their own money into it or whatever too, and they think that they're going to get better. They get screwed. Matter of fact, the only ones that benefited from any of that are the ones who are the higher-ups, the bigwigs in there. It's a scam perpetrated by them. And you can argue, in a sense, people will call me a conspiracy theorist, but anybody had a job, say, in Western Pennsylvania that was higher than minimum wage, they don't really want to pay that shit. They want it back. So they want to scam you, fearmonger you, make you put money into fake-ass life insurance, 401ks, and you think that company's going to be there forever? Hell no. And there were stories about a 401k you could transfer to another company, so they say, but that's what that shit's all about. They don't want to pay particular wages. Anyway, to understand his video, you'd have to understand the relationship, so to speak, or the difference between these people and the common worker, who they try to scam into that shit. And like I said, the ones they think that they were gonna collect and some of them don't. It was all by, that shit is all by design. And I'm not even talking about the unions, but sweetheart deals is in companies that are union, are a big part of that too. A union perpetrates that big shit too. You can be a common worker in a fucking union, but you would be, still can get screwed in the end work-wise. The ones who run all that union shit and collect all the dues, it was on making our news, one guy get indicted every once in a while for stealing the money, that union dues. And people join unions because they're not getting paid enough, but yet they don't give a fuck about you any more than the government, because they just want to force a company into raising them wages so they can collect more union dues, just like taxes. But yeah, the unions, people with sweetheart deals in unions, them higher up people or higher up supervisors that are in the union, some of them will get the common worker later on, you know, oh yeah, union's going to get you this and this whole pension. Oh, company, they get out of that shit too. All these people are damn crooked. So anyway, to say that once again, to understand this, you have to understand the type of boomer he's talking about. The one that did zero or no work, that always talked down to you and threaten you that you can be destitute and homeless because we'll make damn sure you don't get a job anywhere. And karma coming back to those people, you know what I mean? I can't say that enough. I don't want to be repetitive, but to understand or agree with his video, you got to see it in that perspective. The ones that thinking they were all powerful and shit, and but some of them get screwed because the people that are above them are the ones that benefited from any kind of pension or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And but yeah, I repeat about the late George Carlin because I remember being a teenager in the 1980s before I landed even my first minimum wage job, and working later on, working in a factory, getting on with a company or whatever the hell too. But I digress. Cut it off right here because there's a lot of subcategories about this that you can make entire 34-minute videos on, you know what I mean? So, plus my coffee's gonna get cold. But anyway, to end this, not like you're gonna really delight in homelessness of these people. I don't really believe in that per se, but they wish that shit on you with their power trips and laugh in your face. But it would be nice, even though it's not good to delight in anybody's homelessness, you almost want the people of the character that I mentioned to at least be scared, be just right on that fringe, to be scared and learn their lesson about how they treated people. People who got into these cushy jobs, which zero work because of nepotism and because of who they know, you know, and created the power trip, you know what I mean?